Earlier this week, the New York Jets introduced their new quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, and there's been a lot of talk about what he can do for Gang Green on the field. But how does he help the franchise off the field? Steve Rosner, sports marketing expert and co-founder of 16W Marketing, he's got some thoughts on what the future Hall of Fame QB can do for the Jets, and he joins me now. Steve, how's it going?
I'm doing fine, Dexter. Yourself?
I'm doing well. You know who's doing well? Jets fans, because they're excited about Aaron Rodgers being in town. So, Steve, I got to ask you this. The Jets, as you know, do not have the greatest winning reputation when it comes to franchises around the NFL. Can Rodgers' status as a former Super Bowl MVP enhance their credibility and reputation as a franchise?
Well, first of all, let me say I am a 43-year Jets season ticket holder, so I want to start with that. But absolutely, I mean, I think the first sign you'll see is when the NFL schedule comes out. Last year they had one primetime game. This year, I'm going to guess they're going to have 4 to 6 primetime games. So right from there, I think their credibility from the league and thus to their fans, right off the bat, he enhances what people think about the New York Jets.
All right, so right off the bat, we'll see that, and Jets should have more primetime games this season for sure. Let's look at the business side here for the franchise, Steve. As we know, teams are always looking to maximize profit. In what ways can the Jets leverage Aaron Rodgers' popularity to increase merchandise sales and revenue?
Well, there's merch, obviously. I mean, that's player jerseys, which the league, the Players Association, and the player participate in. But from a sales standpoint, I am sure that the sales group at the Jets are going back to their sponsors, the one that they've already have, as well as new potential sponsors, and leading with the fact that they now have a future Hall of Fame quarterback, something they haven't had in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been quite some time, as you know, as a season ticket holder for 43 years. And you kind of touch upon this here, Steve. Rodgers, as we know, highly visible. We've seen him in tons of ads over the years, notably with State Farm and the discount double check. Does Rodgers' media presence and the endorsements that he has benefit the Jets' visibility and exposure here?
It does to some extent, but, Aaron Rodgers comes with a whole bunch of endorsements and reputation as being a winner. So right off the bat, I believe so. As far as will it benefit him here in New York on endorsements, I'm not really sure about that. And truthfully, I'm not sure if Aaron Rodgers is really looking for that at this stage of his career. He might. If I was involved with him, I would say maybe take one local/national company that he might want to get involved with. But overall, my guess is that Aaron Rodgers is more concerned about what goes on the field than what goes off the field.
Okay, and speaking about what goes on the field, last thing here, Steve, ultimately with Rodgers being in New York, does he truly benefit the Jets off the field if he doesn't win, right? So if that doesn't happen, so basically, do the Jets need Rodgers to win on the field for them to benefit off the field?
Well, I think any franchise needs the win. Regardless, I mean, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you're coming in as a savior. But if you don't get it done at that point, I think people are going to say, well, was it worth it? Was it worth, the draft capital that they're going to give up for him, with the future first rounder if he plays 65% of the plays. So I think, I wouldn't call it pressure, but I think that, Aaron Rodgers, I believe, realizes one of the reasons why he decided to come to the Jets and maybe even still play versus retired is that he believes this team is built to win now, and he would like to be part of it. So as a marketer and as a season ticket holder, I think anything less than making the playoffs would be a little bit of disappointment at this point.
I think that would be disappointing for Jets fans. Steve, I got to ask you this before we go. How do you see this all playing out? Does Rodgers deliver a Super Bowl for Gang Green?
Well, Super Bowl is a long way off, and I think you got to go. I think you got to crawl before you walk and walk before you run. So let's start with this. Let's try to win the division, and then once we get in the playoffs, anything can happen.
Okay.
So that would be my goal there. He's got he's got a lot of great teams all of a sudden in the AFC East here. Hopefully, we can be one of them. But I'm optimistic that that there will be a playoff game, hopefully a home playoff game in the Jets' future this year.
Okay, there you go. Steve Rosner, cautiously optimistic. He is a sports marketing expert and co-founder of 16W Marketing. Steve, we appreciate the thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and how he can affect the Jets' marketing down the road. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, Dexter.